Hi, this is Glenda. I saw a couple of blogs that had camera cards recently, so I thought I'd have a go on my own variation with the stuff that I've got lying around. So I will put links to the two blogs that had their samples, because if you look at theirs and mine, hopefully between the three of us you'll have the right materials to do your own version. Rather than try and do it exactly like any of them, because we've all got different things lying around. It does use the envelope punch board to make the tab. If you don't have the punch board, you might have a tab die, or just be happy to freehand it, but it's a cute little card. So I shall try and show you how I did it, and I shall leave it actually up facing me so I can, because I've only done the one, so I've got a clue what I'm doing. So first of all, I've taken in my case A4, but letter will work too, and cut it vertically down the middle to give me half a card, and well, a whole card, but half a piece of paper. I'm going to score it down the middle by lining up. I don't actually want to fold it yet, although it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure I've got it straight. Never mind. Now I wrote myself some notes because this was yesterday and now I've got to remember today. So we're going to take the score line that we've just made and put it on the 2-inch mark on the board. So yes, we put it on the score line and do a 2 inches, flip it over, put the score line on 2 inches again, punch again. Then we're going to take from the end of the card, it's 1.5 inches, and then we're going to do the same thing, flip it over again, and 1.5 inches from the end. It doesn't really matter where you put these as long as they match. So I've got 4 notches. And we want to take our cutter, and some of this is going to be off camera, but we're just cutting down this bit, leaving the tab, cutting down the middle bit, leaving the tab, and cutting down the end bit. So in theory, if your cardboard is straight, you can line it up and do the whole lot. So just till you feel the notch, come down to where you feel the notch and start again, to the notch, come down to the last notch, and to the end. Worked better than the first time. So we've got our tabs like that. And we can fold it in half, score it, and that's the base of the card. So far so good. So then I've got another piece of cardstock, and it is 5.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to take a 1 3/4 inch punch. So you can use whatever you've like, as long as you sort of go up in even increments. You'll see what I mean when I come to do the layers. So I'm going to punch that. It doesn't particularly matter where. And I'm going to take my corner rounder and use the 1/4 inch part around the corners on this. And I'll round the corners on the camera as well, on the card. And I'm just going to go and emboss this. I've got Cuttlebug mesh folder. You can use whatever folder you've got, just to get some texture on the black card. And these are one of the old small ones which I do not buy anymore, because I'm going to have to put it through a second time to get this end bit, and that's why I've put tape down there to help disguise the little join. So I'll just do that and come back. For some clever reason I've put my join on the other side of the card this time, which is not particularly going to work as well, but we're going to make it work. I've got some silver tape which has been kicking around forever. I'm just going to put that down. Hopefully it's reasonably straight. Now, on this one, I used these big staples, and I did it after I'd stuck the black part down, but a clever person would do it beforehand, so I might try doing it. This is one of these EK Success, can't remember what they're called anymore. I think I'll try them vertically if I can line it up. Not too bad. I mean, this is the illusion of a camera. You are not actually creating a camera. Okay, so now I've got a piece of mirror board stuff, and it's got a protective film on it, which I thought I'd lifted a corner. But I don't know if you can see it, it's really, really very mirror-like. It's great stuff. But I'm going to leave the film on it because I want this to have a dull look, like you're looking into the lens when the camera's off. So by leaving the film on, it's going to give this scratchy look, but it's going to give a different look than if I made it a straight mirror. You can choose just, you know, any way you like to do it, but I just fancy, because on this one I used a different one again, and I actually put a piece of transparency there and then the mirror underneath that, and then because that mirror didn't have a film on it, mirror film, anyway, when I got this piece out and it had I thought, oh, I could leave off the transparency and just have the dull finish like that. So that's total waffle, but you may prefer to actually put a mirror in it so that when the person gets the card they see themselves. But we'll leave that part out altogether. Or you could just, if you haven't got any mirror board, you could just put a bit of transparency and a piece of black card underneath to give the illusion of the lens. So I'm going to tape that like that, and I can then stick that down. So for the outside, I'm going to punch in a metallic sort of one. I'm going to go in with my 1 3/4 to match the hole, and then I'm going to come in with a 2 1/2. And you can cut your rings out of, you know, any method you've got, whether it's dies or a electronic cutter, or, you know, this is all about using what you've got. So come back with the original punch with a lighter colour, and this time a 2-inch punch, which doesn't have a very long reach. giving me my little ring for the middle. So we can stick these on. There. So, coming along fine. Anybody knows where my pin for my glue is? There it is. Actually, while I've got the glue out, no, I won't stick that on yet. Okay, so for the ribbon, I just put an eyelet through the back. So I have my crocodile and my ribbon. And a big eyelet, which I'm going to put through so the right side's on the back. So far so good. So while I'm on the inside, I put a liner paper in partly because this is going to be hard to write on, partly to cover up my inside eyelet and the staples that I had put through, which are not an issue now because I did it earlier on. So this piece is 11.5 by 3 3/4, but basically you just make it a little bit smaller than whatever your inside is. And try and fold it in half. That's just a piece of copy paper. You can use heavier if you wish, but this does the job. And then I'm going to round the corners on all of these. And I want a bit extra up where the ribbon is. Okay, so for my little shutter thingy up here, viewfinder, whatever it is, I've got this punch which has a little tiny ticket in it, and as I say, I was just hunting for what I had, so you know, you don't just look for a shape that will work. It could be just a rectangle if you have nothing else. So I'm just going to stick that on there. Oh, is there a right and a wrong side? No. And I have a homemade enamel dot. Go on here. Oh, clever. Always remember that your glue is still wet. That's why I didn't put it on before. And then for the sentiment for this one, this was the freebie on TLC this morning. I forget what that stands for, but it's keep calm and stay focused, and I thought that was really cute, so I thought I'll put that on here. And I'm just going to ink the edges to vintage it up a bit. And some double-sided foam. I'm just wondering if that would be better with rounded corners to match. Oh no, we'll leave it as it is. Moving my red dot. Yeah. That's what happens when you're hurrying on the camera. I'll stick that on better in a minute. So there's my two slightly different versions. And yeah, they're slightly different to each other. They're slightly different to, well, they're quite a bit different to the originals that I saw. But it's just a cute idea for possibly a manly card. So that's my version of the camera card. Thank you for watching.